Hello folks. I just trod on my glasses. I didn't like it. Yeah, I was just doing the fire and I got up, must have put my glasses down on the floor and then I went and trod on them. They're only reading glasses, you know. Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm just here, you know, those some of those pictures. I had a bit of a problem with the pictures because on the Saturday night it got so cold in here. I came out before I went to bed and some of them were showing signs of freezing, you know, and so I quickly whipped them out into the other room, which is above freezing, and put the heating on in there. When I came down the following morning to check them, I just didn't see any of that, you know, if you've seen clay that freezes, it sort of like gets cracks going all over it. They disappeared completely. Now I don't know whether they really have disappeared, but I'm going to put handles on them anyway. So I've got some handles that I've pulled just there on the workbench. I've got my turntable, my banding wheel. I've got some water that I've warmed up a little because, well, temperature in here it feels pretty warm actually, but you know, it's not all that warm, is it? It's just over 50. But I suppose it's the comparative warmth that it feels compared to what it is outside. So, yeah. So some of these pictures I've got here under plastic. Some of them, because some of them were getting a little hard. So I just sprayed some of them, but some of them that didn't need spraying. And I've already thumbed off the bases here. You don't need to trim a form like this. If you throw it properly to start with, you haven't got to fuss around with trimming. So let's put a couple of handles on these guys. I mean one handle on, but let's do a couple. So, alright. I mean, handling a picture like this is the same as handling a mug or anything else. First thing you need to decide is where you're going to put the handle. You could have it off the side here, or you could take it off the top up there. Just an interesting thought about placement of handles. The higher you put the handle up there, when you actually go to pick it up, it's more work to lift it. If you've got the handle lower down here, it will tip much easier. So that's food for thought, isn't it? Actually, these ones I am going to though take them off the top. So line up opposite your pouring lip, okay, right there. Dip your finger in your water pot and just key the area with your fingernail, okay. Don't add slip to it from somewhere else. Actually create the slip here out of the pot itself. So I've got these handles here, I pulled them. They could have done with being left a little longer, to be honest, but time is against us at the minute. Keep your, hang on a minute, let's just tip that down a touch. So you want to work off your banding wheel, especially if you're a bit of a beginner at doing this, because it will save you a lot of hassle. So just take this, put it there, take your handle, line it up with the spout so it's opposite. Give it a gentle push. Now that depends on the hardness of your pictures. If they're a little bit soft and you give it a push, you could push it out of shape. So always keep a couple of fingers behind as you give it a little bit of pressure. Just keep it there, just to support it. Okay, now I'm lifting it up. I'm using my thumb, you see, on the top, like this, feeding the clay, of the soft clay of the handle, into the body of the... Now I dip it in the water. You seeing that there? You've got my water pot? Yeah, it's in vision. Good. So dip your handle and dip your fingers. You want to wet both the handle and your fingers. And now, okay, just start to gently re-pull the handle off the side here. Now I'm going to put my reading glasses on because the light is not that good in here. Even though we do have this glorious winter sunshine streaming in, and I'm going to use my fingernail to create that groove or spine down the back of the handle. I don't know if you can make that out. It's just a little decorative feature. Alright, it's important to wet the handle when you do this pulling, otherwise the whole thing will just pull right off, okay? Okay, now just take this by the end here and let it fall and bring it round. Okay? Turn it like that, make sure the handle is in fact opposite the spout or the pouring lip. Surprisingly easy to, to find after you've pulled it, attached it, etc. that you've put it a little bit skew. So I've just damp on your apron. Okay, you want a dampness of your finger, but you don't want it dry. Neither do you want it wet. I'm going to take the clay and smear it across. You see, if your finger's too wet, your finger won't be able to grab the clay and smear it. And if it's too dry, it doesn't smear it in a nice way. So you may want to lick your finger. And now, so we've got a little tail. What are we going to do with him? Flick him off. No nonsense. Now try and keep this a little bit down the bottom here, this finish, you want to keep it a little bit, energetic. As if there's been some action going on there. What you don't want to do is, smooth it, rub it, sponge it, lick it, all the rest of it. Just keep that looking alive, fresh, decisive, not hesitant. Okay, going back to the top here now, just final little adjustments. Take a good look from the side. What you want to do is make sure the handle, you see, when you look at a handle on a pot, it conveys certain emotions. Do you know that? Are you aware of that? Do you find that? I do. I better talk about myself rather than make general statements. But to me, when I look at a handle, it conveys a certain emotions to me. Like I might think, well, you're a sad looking handle, aren't you? Well, you're a bit of a droop, aren't you? You're a bit of a droopy handle. No, I don't like handles that are like that. I like my handles to be flowing, fluent, perky, alive. You see, you want to get that. You see, the reason we pull handles rather than, like some people say, oh Simon, I don't do pulled handles. I do, I pre-form them all first, so they're all bent to shape, and you see them all on the board, all bent to shape, Then they take them and they attach them. That's a very laborious and a little bit of a sterile way of putting on handles, isn't it? So why do we pull handles? Well, because the pot itself, you see, is thrown from a lump of clay, so it becomes like a living, alive organism that grows out of that lump of clay. And when we put a pulled handle onto that, we want to make it feel like it's growing out of the side of the pot, you see. A bit like a tree, and the boughs of the tree naturally growing out of the... Okay, there's that one. We need to put a seal on that. Here's one of those ones that I put the comb on. I dragged that comb across the surface just to give a again a decorative effect. So onto the banding wheel, finger in your water pot, line up, scratch, but not sniff. Just scratch. Okay, so you just do, let me just move this camera a minute, see if we can, we've got a bit of sunshine there which gives us a bit extra light, but oh, here it is. I want you to see that if possible. You see what I've done there? So it's not over scratched, but you want to do that, you see, in preparation for your handle. So put him on, now put him on the, now pick your handle, okay, and remember we've done this a million times, but I'm telling you again, use your knuckle here of your thumb, okay, and use that to butt the end, you see, no buts about it, butt the end. Make the end a bigger contact area right there, you see. Alright? Using that. That gives a slight concavity to it. You see this extra, the extra clay that we have, you see how it's wider at the end there because I've done that, because I've used that. You see, that's why you have a knuckle on your thumb. That's why you were born with it, to do this, you see. So, let's take that now, offer it up to the jug, to the pitcher, whatever you want to call it. Again, a couple of fingers behind, get the position, and then just a gentle wiggle like this, with a little bit of applied pressure, not too much. You don't want to deform it. Okay, now that should be enough to hold it, you see. And I haven't really done anything to it, but what I've got to do now is I've got to use my thumb, you see, my thumb here to, see that? Smooth the clay, and then with my index finger on the back side there, smooth the soft clay of the handle. Let's just move that a touch now. Into the pitcher. You see, that's what makes the join. That's what makes the join. Wet the handle, dip the handle into your water pot. So in other words, what you're going to need is a water pot, something like that one I've got there. It's a small paint pot, really. No, it says sheetrock. Sheetrock all-purpose joint compound. Something about that size though. So you want a water level quite near the top, you see, don't you? Then you can dip it, you see, all the way. Don't forget wet your fingers as well, and your thumb. Pull it like this. Dee-dee. Okay. Use that thumbnail. If you've got a thumbnail, you can use it like that, you see. Now take it by the end. You see, by taking it by the end like that, you're supporting it. And then you're going to put the pitcher to the vertical, And then you see, by holding it by the end like that, you see how I'm supporting it? But I'm going to let it fall. Just let it fall, let it fall, let it fall, let it fall. Alright. Now turn it, make sure that it's straight. Again, very easy to put it off, skew it off to the side. Alright. Couple of fingers or so inside. Now we're going to, now at the moment that is, see that is shiny wet there? Don't know if you can see that, but that's shiny wet. Now I can't, if it's shiny wet like that, don't try and smear it, okay? First of all, you're going to wipe it, and then wipe on your apron. Okay, now take that semi-moist thumb that we talked about, and just smear that clay across. See, like that. Just like that. Easy. Now, that little tail, let's lift him up a little bit, because you're going to flick him away. Like that. Aggressive, decisive. It gives a sense of all right. Now, coming back to the top now, just a little clean up at the top there, finish him off. Last eyeball, check him out. You see, we don't want the handle to stick out here, do we? That looks stupid. You know what I talked about, you know, the emotion of handles and looking at them. If you see a handle that is like sticking out, like it makes you feel, it gives you a bad feeling, doesn't it? It gives you a bad emotion. It makes you send shudders down your spine when you see it. Well, you see, I sprayed these with a bit of water. They were a little bit dry on the top. They were getting that way, a little bit dry, and I just wanted to keep them softer. So I sprayed them with water, put the plastic over, and it's surprising how that will make them go back soft again, you see. Let's quickly do one more. Okay, on the turntable. On the turntable. Move this a bit this way. On the turntable. Drop the needle. Don't scratch the record. So I sort of scratch it with a wet finger like that, both ways. You see, I'm tapping it like that, you see. I've got a little bit of a fingernail there, not too much, but... Alright. Take the handle. Give it the butt treatment. No buts about it, with your thumb knuckle. Offer him up like that, make sure he's opposite. Give him a little push. Use the thumb on the top, index finger on the back, like that. Okay, now dip him in the water like that. Just wet the handle and your fingers. Now, using my thumbnail. Judge the size of handle that you want. Just apply a bit of pressure and he'll be stuck for good. Well, he won't be stuck for good actually till I do the fishtail. He's wet though, isn't he? So dry him a little bit just by wiping a dry finger across. That's why you need to wear an apron, you see. Keep these fingers inside like that. Use the thumb, push across, smear away. Ooh. Keep this fresh and alive looking down the bottom here. Okay, now back to the top for the last little bit of attention. Yeah, that's it. One last look. Eyeball it from the side. You may want to just pull it out a little bit, push it down till you're happy with it. Till you get that kind of happy feeling, you know, you look at the handle and you get a nice happy emotion, you feel good about it. Just, it feels right, you see. Oh, now this one you see, he's gone off to the side there a touch, hasn't he? Maybe you can't see that, but I'm just going to do... One way of doing it is put him on his side like that and tap him. The handle will then fall. That's about it. There he is. He's a happy handle. So just put my finger there on the handle. Okay folks, there it is. Handles. Handles on 14-ounce pictures. But you know, putting a handle on a picture is pretty much the same as putting a handle on a... Once you learn how to put on handles, it doesn't matter what... Once you learn the technique, it doesn't matter what your... subject matter is, really, you know. And there's only one way to learn to put on handles, and that's to put on handles. And lots of them. Put on lots of handles. And you will, through practice, you'll get to know the feel, the touch, the squeeze, the bend, all of those things. You will learn by doing. But don't just do one or two and think, oh, that's no good. I'm no good at doing handles. I'm not going to do them anymore. That's pathetic. You've got to do a dozen, do 20, and then go on and do some tankards or something else and put handles on them and do a dozen or 20 of them, and you will, you see, get better. Thanks for joining us, folks. This is Simon Leach here. Please visit my website, simonleachpottery.com, and we've got workshop dates there if you're interested. That's workshops from here. And what else? Please subscribe. If you look at my videos and have been looking at them for years and you haven't yet subscribed, then please subscribe. If you subscribe, it helps my channel, and that helps me. So please subscribe. It's very easy. You just click the subscribe box and then you are subscribed, and you'll probably get a notification when I have a new video, you see. And also, if you like the video, give it the thumbs up. And make a comment if you want to. I'm not promising I will answer it. I'll try to. I know there are many comments that I haven't answered. But anyway, I mean, I do go through. I will definitely read it. If you've got lots of questions, it's probably better just write an email to me through the website rather than putting a comment there and asking a question on the comment. Because I do answer them, but not always. And that's about it, I suppose, other than stay warm and keep practicing. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.